HydraFacial Live. Thanks for joining myself, Rosemary Holcomb from HydraFacial. And I'm joined by Dr. Sarah Levy. Thank you for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
First I'd love to be able to give our audience just a bit of touch of you and, what was that journey into aesthetics?
Absolutely. So my path into aesthetics is a little bit unique. So I am a board certified eye surgeon, and several of the patients that I did surgery on discovered that I also do Botox for medical reasons. And so they asked if I could do Botox for non-medical or aesthetic reasons. And then it just grew by word of mouth. And before I knew it, within a few years, I was exclusively just doing Botox and fillers. And, at some point, I just realized that I could only make my patients look so good with, those two things, because if the canvas that I was working on or their skin is not in great shape, the results that I could provide with my fillers and toxins would also just be mediocre. So that's when I introduced skincare into my practice, and the HydraFacial followed soon after.
Can you tell us a little bit more about why you decided to invest in HydraFacial?
When I first started with skincare, I just started with a microdermabrasion and some facials, and I realized that, number one, I wasn't getting results that I was hoping for, but number two, I really was not setting myself apart as a physician who owns a medical med spa from every other med spa in the region. So I decided to bring in the HydraFacial, and very quickly I actually ended up purchasing a second HydraFacial. The thing I think that's unique about it is that, as you mentioned, the brand, on our menu, there's very few things that are actually named by their brand. And HydraFacial is, I think, one of two things on our menu because patients come in asking for it. So for example, we carry multiple different companies for toxins and fillers. And so when patients come in, I, as a physician, get to pick the toxin, the filler that I feel would be best for them, but they actually come in asking for the HydraFacial. The other thing that I think is kind of really neat is that it's a community. So I think I've never seen anything quite like it, where you have estheticians and consumers and physicians, and everybody's kind of getting excited about it. And there's education that comes into it. So the brand in itself, it's not just the name of the machine, but it's all encompassing.
This is really a beauty health lifestyle, right? That they're going to be coming in over and over. It's not just a one and done, but really something they should be doing long term.
This treatment is very customizable and very versatile. So I think that it allows every practice to distinguish itself. We have an express HydraFacial that's 30 minutes, and we have a more deluxe HydraFacial that involves the neck, the chest, LED lights, all types of boosters. Patients love this treatment, and so they're walking out with their skin looking fabulous. I think that the entire aesthetic industry is experiencing this consumer shift where, instead of looking at self-care as something of a luxury, they're now looking at self-care as something that is essential. I think the pandemic certainly has made that even a bigger deal. The consumers who are in their 20s, early 30s, they're thinking a lot about rejuvenation. So even with toxins and fillers, really taking care of themselves for preventative purposes. And then we have patients who are 30s, 40s and beyond who are now, it's maintenance, and they're used to it. They're comfortable with coming in for their tox every 3 months, for their filler fairly regularly. And so now that skincare is integrated as part of that. Unlike many treatments, the HydraFacial is essentially for everyone. So every single patient can pretty much get it. And once they have that treatment once, as they're checking out, they're like, my daughter could probably use this for her acne, and my mom could probably use a little bit of extra pampering. So as you're repeating this treatment, your skin actually is getting better. So now you're tapping into that scheduled self-care. And if you have it on your schedule, it's kind of like working out with a trainer. You're going to make that appointment and make sure that you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your skin as well.
And the number one reason why people keep coming back is because they're having these great experiences where they understand all of the different steps. So what are some of the things that you do to make your experience unique for your patients?
really liked to walk them through each of the steps. So we explain, now I'm, exfoliating, now I'm extracting, now I'm hydrating, now I'm adding this booster. And then the other thing is we love to sort of have that like aha moment. So we show them the mirror at the end and they see that glow before putting their mask on. And it's transformational. The other thing too is that because it's so customizable, there's so many boosters now, you really, even if they're coming in every single month, the treatment can be just a little bit different. You might have a little bit less time one time and we might just do a quick express one. You might have a little bit more time the next time you want something a little more luxurious. We can do something that's an hour and a half long and we can really sort of get into a few of the other boosters and lights and, you can even do the hands. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with it. It's incredibly versatile. And I think everything's integrated. So it's integrated with all of our injectables because my patients know that if their skin is in better shape, the results they're going to get from their tox and their filler is going to be better. It's just, the better the canvas, the more pliable the skin, and I can do a better job.
We like to say that we're the most approachable thing on the correction side, but really the most efficacious thing on the skincare side. And helping people find that approachable beauty health is so important to us. And I know you've talked to me before about some of the amazing transformations that your clients have gone through, really helping them embrace Face Life Face First. So I would love for you to share maybe one or two of your best patient stories with us.
Sometimes we don't think about the fact that, the face is, the outfit that you wear every single day, right? This is what you face the world with. And if your skin is looking good and you're happy with your appearance, then everything else follows suit. It's like having like a great hair day, right? So one of the stories, I think that's one that that I mentioned to you, is that I had a patient who had come in and she really was concerned about this one indent on her face. It was almost like a scar. She really wanted me to work on that and lift that up and smooth it out. And I worked with her over the course of several months. And when sort of we had the finished product, I gave her a mirror and she started to cry. And it turned out that she was in an abusive relationship and she had gotten that scar during that time. And, since then she had moved, she's changed her life completely, but every time she looked in the mirror, she could still see that scar and it would bring her back. So being able to remove that, to smooth that skin was completely transformational for her. So the treatments that I'm doing are not because someone is unhappy with a certain feature of themselves. It's because they're actually looking to feel better about themselves and perform better in the world, and their role as whether it's an employee or a mother or a father or a friend is going to be, they're going to do a better job at it as a result.
Yep. Yeah, we like to say if you have skin, HydraFacial's for you. Because it really does cross all boundaries and can help anyone regain that confidence to face life face first. So, well, thank you so much for joining me. This was so much fun to talk to you and hear your stories.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Rosemary.
Thanks.